Hello everyone, my name is Ankush Jain, and in today's video we are going to understand what is a Burstable EC2 instance. So I'm going to use this page to explain you everything, and you can find the link of this page in the description below. Okay, so before we start understanding what is a Burstable EC2 instance, let's first understand what are the types of EC2 instance. So you will just click here. So there are two types of EC2 instance. One is fixed performance instance, another is Burstable performance instance. So let's first understand what is a fixed performance instance. Okay, so fixed performance instances are very straightforward. Okay, so let me take you to this page. You can see there are a lot of EC2 instances, and these are the families of EC2. So compute optimized, memory optimized, storage optimized, HPC. So these are the categories. And if I select randomly this, and I can select any, or so you can see we have instance size, we have vCPU, and we can see a vCPU is allocated to every instance 2, 4, 8, 16. So if I create an instance of this type where I am getting 16 vCPU, so that is a fixed value. Okay, now if I create an EC2 instance of this size, I will get 16 vCPU for an hour, or if I run the instance for the whole day, I will get 16 vCPU performance whole day. Even if I run this for a month or year, I will get 16 vCPU all the time, and I can run my instance with 100% utilization, knowing that I have 16 vCPUs in my EC2. These kind of instances are known as fixed performance instances. So that is pretty straightforward, and normally this is how it works. I mean, if you create an EC2 instance, you know the vCPU, then you know that you can utilize, or you can take your instance to maybe 100% CPU utilization, because you have that entire vCPU. Okay, so that is a fixed performance EC2 instance, but that is not the case with burstable EC2 instances. You cannot take your instance to 100% utilization. So I will come there. That's where the difference come. So these are the straightforward, as normal computers or as normal EC2 instances are. They have fixed CPU resources, and they don't change. Example, so all the instances which we can see here are fixed performance instances, except the one T family, and this T family comes under general purpose. So there are two types of family, M and T. So all these T4, T3, T3A, T2, these instances are basically burstable instances. Okay, now coming to the burstable performance instance. So here you don't get fixed CPU resources like you get in fixed performance. So, and second thing, these are not as straightforward as fixed performance instances. So you need to understand certain things, like you need to understand what is baseline utilization, what is CPU credit, what is CPU credit balance and uses. So in order to understand how burstable instance work, so we are going to understand these things shortly. Okay, so now let's understand what is a baseline utilization. So I will just close this and I will click here. So you can see a table here, and same table I have added here. Okay. So if you understand this table, then almost you will understand what is a burstable EC2 instance. So here you can see T2 family and all the instances of T2 family, T3, then all the instances of T3, and similarly T3A and T4G. So, and all these instances are burstable instances. Now you can see, let me take an example of T2 micro. So here you will get one vCPU, and you will get a baseline utilization per vCPU is 10%. So what does it mean? Okay, it means that if you create an instance of T2 micro, then you will get one vCPU, and with that one vCPU you can run that EC2 instance with 10% CPU utilization. Okay, so if you go beyond 10% CPU utilization, it might create problem. uh, by creating a problem, I mean, your EC2 starts throttling. Okay, so it means you are getting one vCPU, but you can only utilize this one vCPU CPU instance if you are running your workloads which are consuming your CPU less than 10%. So only if your CPU utilization is 10%, that in that case it will work. Okay, but now you may ask, what if my application get more requests, then CPU utilization goes high, then what will happen in that case? Okay, so for that you have to understand what is CPU credit, but you understand what is baseline utilization. So baseline utilization is something which says that this is 20%, so you can run this instance with 20% or less CPU utilization 24/7. Okay, you can run it entire week or entire year, but your CPU utilization should be less than 20%. We have not covered the part what will happen if it goes beyond that, or it runs even more lower CPU utilization than what is specified here. So we are going to talk about that. But now let's understand CPU credits. Okay, so I will come here, CPU credit. So for example, if I have 12 CPU credits, and CPU credits are basically allocated per hour. So here you can see these are the CPU credits which are earned per hour. So for T2 micro, I will get 6 CPU credits. For T2 small, I will get 12 CPU credits. So what does it mean? It means that you can run a CPU with 100% utilization till 12 minutes if I get 12 CPU credits. Okay, so I can run that EC2 instance with 100% utilization till 12 minutes. But what about next 48 minutes? Because an hour has 60 minutes. So if I run entire EC2 with 100% utilization for only 12 minutes, what about the rest 48 minutes? So that's why what they say, if you want to run for longer period of time, so you have to reduce your utilization. That's why they say that you should run your instance on 20% utilization in order to use these credits for entire hour. Okay, so this is what a CPU credit is. Okay, so that I have already covered. Now there is a limit. Okay, so now you understand what is a CPU credit. Okay, so let me talk about another scenario. For example, you created this instance T2 small, and your CPU utilization is 10%. You are not even running it on 20%, or you are not, overutilizing it. You are just underutilizing it. So what happens in that case? You are earning 12 credits per hour, so it will only consume 6 credits, and you will be basically saving 6 credits for to be utilized at later point of time. So if you are not utilizing your EC2 instance till the baseline, then you are actually saving your CPU credits, and which will get accumulated. Okay, and what will happen if at certain time your APIs or your application which is running on EC2 gets more request and your CPU utilization goes high, maybe 30%, 50%. So what will happen, since you have already acquired or earned those credits when your instance was underutilized, AWS will use those earned CPU credits to support additional CPU utilization. Okay, so this is how this entire burstable instances work. And why we call it a burstable EC2 instance? Because when your CPU utilization burst, so it can use those credits which it has earned when your system was underutilized. So that's why it can handle that burst. That's why these instances are called burstable instances. Okay, now let's talk about a scenario. Okay, so yeah, since we are discussing like we can accumulate the credits that we have earned, so there is a limit. I mean, for example, you are using a T2 small and you are earning 12 credits per hour. So, and your instance is not utilized even 20%. So you are earning basically, you are not consuming 12 CPU credits. So if what will happen if your system is running at 20% CPU utilization, then all these 12 will become zero after an hour, because you are also spending what you are earning. But if this is 10%, then you are utilizing 50% of the capacity which you are allocated. So what will happen, you will be you will be only spending 50% of credits. So you will be saving 6 credit per hour. And if you are running almost 0 or 1% of CPU utilization, then almost 12 or 11 credits you will be saving every hour. So these credits will be saved every hour, but it cannot, and these will be added, but it cannot be more than 288. So once you reach there, if you have saved 288 credits, and even though you are running instances beyond your baseline capacity, then you will not get additional credits, because this is a limit. This is max There is a maximum limit for every instance, how much CPU credits you can earn. Okay, so now let's talk about another thing. So I am going to talk about this thing, unlimited mode concept. So let's talk about a scenario. So for example, you are running your web application on a T2 small instance, and you are running your application mostly within 20% of CPU utilization, and you have earned certain amount of credits. Maybe you have earned 100 credits, okay, in your bucket. So suddenly your website is gets famous, and you start getting lot of traffic on your website, and this causes a burst in the CPU utilization at your EC2, and it basically reaches to 60 to 70% utilization, and your EC2 is running on 60% or 70% CPU utilization, and it is not like it is going to over in a minute or 2 minutes. It is going to This kind of traffic is going to stay there for a few hours, maybe 5 hours or 6 hours. So what will happen, all your 100 whatever credits you have earned will be, will serve at certain limit. But once these earned credits are over, so what will happen in that case? Your If you don't have any CPU credit left, your EC2 will start throttling. No request will be served from your computer from your EC2 instance. So what will happen in that case? Because you have lost all the credits that you had earned in the past. So to mitigate this issue, or to fix this issue, AWS proposed a new credit offering, which we call unlimited mode concept. And if you go there, you will see that the unlimited mode is a credit configuration option for burstable performance instance. It can be enabled or disabled at any time. So what will happen, uh, even if you have exhausted all your earned credits, then also you will get additional credits from AWS. Okay, so your application will keep on running till the time it needs those extra CPU. So after 13 hours or 14 hours, your traffics become normal, and it utilization goes beyond 20%. So you will be, basically uh, utilizing those additional CPU credits that AWS has provided you, and AWS will charge some money because it has provided you those additional credit. So this is a concept, and the reason or the benefit of this is that you will never run out of capacity. You will be running your application on a burstable instance. Still, it guarantees that you will always get uh, those additional CPU credits if your earned credits goes out of the limit, or all the credits are exhausted. So this is very important feature which I like, and because this gives a reliability and a confidence that my instance will run in any situation, um, even if the CPU utilization varies, if it goes high or you know comes down. So this is unlimited mode concept. Okay, now let's talk about what is the purpose of burstable instances. So if we don't get, a fixed performance, why do we need to even create them? So there is a reason. The reason is, for basically burstable instances are basically created for general purpose workload. So if you have a website, or You have softwares that require some, you know, low CPU utilization, or your website has low or medium traffic, and you know that that is a predictable traffic, and it will consume that much of CPU on an average basis. So in that case, you can use these burstable instances because these are very cost effective. So you can go to this website, and I will just close this, and here you can see okay, so I'm already selected T's family. So if you see T2, T4G is small, so I have selected 2 GB instance memory and 2 vCPU, and it is only costing me 8 USD per month. So I can install MySQL, and I can run a web application there, and I will be just running my entire application in $8 per month. So that is very cost effective option. If you compare the same configuration, the same instance having same configuration with a fixed size performance instance, then you will see that that cost would be way higher than this $8. So these are very cost effective instances. Okay, so now we have covered all the theory. We have seen what is a burstable instances, how burst happens, and what is base utilization, what is credit, CPU credit. So now we will do a hands-on, and we'll see how the things work in real world. And so we will do a practical demo. Okay, so for practical demo, what we are going to do, we are going to basically create an EC2 instance here, and we are going to apply some load on EC2 instances, and we will see the matrices. Or okay, so this is an EC2 instance that I have already created, and it's been around 2.5 hours since I have created it. And if you see the monitoring tab, okay, so we have already entered into the demo part. So I have created so we can see the monitoring tab, and you can see the CPU utilization. You can see the CPU credit balance. Okay, let me just credit balance, credit usage. So we can see all these matrices here. Okay, so now what we'll see, we will uh, will put some stress on this EC2. That stress will utilize or it will increase the CPU utilization. Okay, so this instance is basically a T3 micro, and if I see a T3 micro, where T3 micro, so it has 2 vCPU, and we have 10% baseline utilization. Okay, and we are earning 12 CPU credits per hour. That means each vCPU is earning 6 credits per hour, and it is supposed to perform with 10% utilization. Okay, so you can see in the monitoring tab my CPU utilization. So I'm not doing nothing, and the CPU utilization is just 0.35. Okay, so it is not even utilizing 10%, which is allowed. Okay, so what we will do, we will put some load, uh, increase the CPU utilization, and we'll see, because we have earned CPU credit balance. So you can see I started at around, okay, let me go with this way, 1 hour. So not 1 hour, let me, oh, what happened, 1 minute, and local time zone. So currently I have 33 units, and 12 multiplied by 3, around 36. So yeah, when it is increasing in every hour, it was 23 at 7:15. Now around 8 it is uh, 33. So we are earning CPU credit balance, and it is showing me a graph which is going upward. Reason, because I have not consumed these credit balance, that's why it is increasing. So once we put stress on this EC2, the CPU utilization will go high, and we will consume these earned credit balance, so it will go down. So that is what is going to happen. Okay, so what? I will do, I will just click on connect. And okay, give me 1 second. I have enabled, I guess in this instance I have enabled detail monitoring or not. So let me see. I have not enabled detail monitoring, so I have to enable it, because what happens by default, AWS sends these matrices every 5 minutes, but we want that AWS should send these matrices every 1 minute, so that we will get a better diagram here, because uh, we will run that operation only for 2 minutes. So what I'm going to do, I will just connect with session manager, and I will just close this. So we are connected with our AWS EC2 instance, and what I'm going to do, sudo yum install stress. So we'll install it. So this is a utility that we can use to put stress and do stress testing. So I will clear. Now I will run stress minus help, I guess. Yeah. So this is a command. So what it will do, this command, okay, what it will do, it will run for 10 seconds, will create VM bytes, like it will create two VMs, and each VM will be occupying 128 MB memory. So this will it put the stress on memory, this will put the stress on IO, and this will put the stress on CPU. So it will create 8 worker, you can see n worker. So it will create n worker threads, so 8 worker threads. So what we are just going to copy this, and I will just do a little bit modification. I will reduce it, and I will, yeah, I will change the time. So what I'm going to do, I will just run it for uh, 3 minutes, and I will do minus v, or I will not do minus v, because otherwise uh, it will be verbose and it will print a lot of logs. So what I'm going to do, I will just paste it and I will run it. So now uh, it has started running, and it will increase CPU utilization. So what I'm going to do, I'm pausing my video and will be back after 3 minutes, and then we will analyze these monitoring metrics. Okay, we'll see CPU utilization, we will see how much credit has been used, how much credit balance is left, and how these things works actually. Okay, so I'm pausing my video. So now we are done with the load test, and I waited around 5 minutes, so that 3 minutes was taken by this load test, and I waited for 2 minutes to so that these matrices get stable. And now we can see, so we can click on CPU utilization, and yeah, so I can even do it 1 minute. Okay, not 1 minute. So you can see earlier the CPU utilization was nearly 0%, but if I just do it local time zone, so you can see at around 8:15 it reached to 62%, and the reason for 62%, because we are using average and we just ran it for 3 minutes. So basically it was running with 100% CPU utilization, but because for rest 2 minutes we did not run it, so that's why it is coming around 62%. Okay, so this is how the CPU utilization has was increased. Now if we see the credit usage, because we had earned the lot of credits, so the CPU credits were not being used when it was running on zero CPU utilization, but when we put the stress, it should have consumed, because we ran it for 3 minutes, it should have consumed three three credit units. So why it is not like that, let me see. So you can see, okay, yeah, we can see, I mean, once I just updated this to 1 minute, you can see it consumed around 5 units. Okay, so because we have two vCPUs, so it each consumed three, and it is coming approximately 5.8. So approximately 6 credits has been consumed, because we were running with 100% utilization for 3 minutes, and that's matching with our theory. So now coming to credit balance, so you can see again I will reduce it, so I will just 1 minute, and you can see our credit balance was increasing, but since we consumed around 6 credits, so it reduced to 29 from approximately to 34.4 to 29.6. It approximately reduced by 5. So what would have happened uh, if our load was this much, so these credit balance may will come to zero if if your EC2 instances is running with the same load. And in that case, once it comes to zero and you have not enabled unlimited burst, so your EC2 will start throttling. So it is recommended that you should enable uh, unlimited burst or unlimited credits, so that even uh, if there is a constant high load, so your EC2 can sustain that, and it will not throttle anytime. Although you have to pay a little extra amount, but that will guarantee that your application will be running and your users or customer will not see a bad behavior from your application. So that's all I had to cover in this video. I have tried my best to explain you the concept of bustable EC2 instances, how do they work, and we have seen everything in the practical demonstration. So I hope that it would have helped you in understanding the concept. And if you have really liked it, then please hit like button and do subscribe my channel. Thank you very much.